Hi everyone, and welcome to Happy Place Creations, and thank you for joining me today. Today I thought we'd do this beautiful little lotus flower. It's a hot mat, and I thought I would do this with you today. So let me get some resin and I will be right back. Alrighty, I have our resin all mixed up, and I decided to use my gold glitter that I have, that I will be selling in my store soon. So let's get pouring. Just going to pour a little bit of alcohol here. Hold down on bubbles. And let's pour. I hope I mixed up enough. And I'll just scrape the cup so we don't waste any resin. I think I have just enough. Just enough. And that was 2 fluid ounces. And that was just enough for this mold. Alrighty, and as soon as this has cured, I will be back and I will show you how I'm going to fill in the indents. Our item has cured and it's ready to be demolded, and we can now fill in on the other side. So let's get it unmolded and see how it come out. There we go. Let's just get it started and then we can go from there. Nice thick coaster, or trinket I should say, trinket tray. Alrighty, it's out and it's a nice clean mold. Are you ready? And there it is. Look how that sparkles. Look at the colors in there. I don't know if you can see them with that light, but that is just gorgeous glitter. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these indents. Now you can either use regular resin or you can use UV resin. Either way, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to choose to use, let me make sure I have no bubbles on my edges where it might spill over. A tiny bubble right there. And a big bubble right there. So I got a couple places where I'm going to have to tape, so I know the resin won't run off. So that would be our first step. And that would be to take some tape and try to avoid those areas that where the resin's going to run off. And all I do is just take some tape and go right where the edge is, where you want to block that area. You don't want to fold it over or anything, you just want to secure it so that the resin won't run out. And that's all you want to do, is you just want to block these little spots. And apparently I got more than I thought I had. But this does happen on the end. Apparently I didn't go around with my tool, so I didn't catch these bubbles. So they will be filled in once we put the resin on. So those little holes won't be there, they'll be filled in with resin. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting everything that needs to be sealed in. I see a couple more spots, but that's about it. Got my tape stuck together. And I'm just gonna cut off the amounts I need. ahead of time this time. Like I said, I thought I saw 2 places. There's one there. And these are just because there was air bubbles in that spot. I'm trying not to press down on my tape, but you want to make sure you go around your edge really good to make sure that tape is stuck good. And after we've put the resin in here and it's cured, we can just peel that tape right off. It won't stay. So just showing you how you can block your air bubbles so that your resin won't, you know, spill over. But you want to be careful not to, you know, bend over your tape. And you just want to check it. And check and check and check, because once you start, it's hard to block it. Alrighty. And then I just, because I cut off too many, I can save them for later. Alrighty. So now we have all our little edges where the bubbles are that will be filled in once we put the resin on. So I'm going to use the UV resin. So I'm just going to get my light and the UV resin. And today I'm going to use my Let's Resin one because it's, you know, wider than my little white one. And I can fit it right over the whole thing. So that one I'm going to use. And then I'm going to get my Let's Resin UV resin, high viscosity, so that I can get it to go where I want it to go. And then you just need a utensil, and then you're going to need something to mix whatever color you decide to use. And I am iffy on black or white, but because this is gold, I think I'm going to go with the black. So I'm going to use the black pigment paste, Let's Resin. And I'm just going to mix that in with the UV resin. Just going to put it, well, I ought to put this in first. So I am just going to put this a little bit in here. Like so. If I need more, I can always make more. And you're not going to need much of this at all because it's highly concentrated. I just have to get it to come out of the bottle. Come on. Okay, it's coming. Beginning to wonder. There we go. Get that air bubble out of there. Come on. Well, maybe I will go with a pen. Oh, there we go. I was about ready to put a popsicle stick down there and get it. But I am going to use this. Like this. Just so I can, in case we need it again, it's there. And then I'm going to take a toothpick, if I can find my toothpicks. There they are. They're usually not too far away. And then I'm just going to mix it in. And then I'm going to put it in the hole. And this could become very time consuming, so at some point I am going to fast forward you. And then after I've done this, I will put a clear coat over the whole top to seal it in. And if you do get a little bit on the top, you can just wipe it right off with a paper towel. And this is all I'm going to be doing. In the areas where the tape is, I'm just going to put it down and proceed right to the next and just keep moving. I think I need to switch my utensil here. There we go, I can spread it better. Alrighty, our item has cured, and now all we need to do is the top coat. I'm not going to remove the tape until we've done the top coat, so I'll remove that after. So now I just need to mix up some resin and do the top coat, and then as soon as that's cured, this will be finished. So let me go mix up some resin and I shall be right back. Well, I have our resin all mixed up, and we just need to put some on the very top and just put it to the edges. I'm going to put on a little bit and then I'm going to spread it out. Now, whoops, and it's going over already. That must be a low spot. I must have put too much on right from the get-go. Sorry, I'm not talking very much. I'm concentrating. Now, if you want to prevent something like I just had to spill over, you could tape all the way around if you'd like, which I probably should have done. I didn't realize that was a low spot. Either that or, like I said, I put too much on right from the get-go. And I'm just making sure I'm getting my edges here, my corners, my tips. Now that overflow there will affect the back of this coaster, but that can be sanded right down and taken right out. I am going to move this coaster out of the area where that is, but I don't want to move it yet. I just want to make sure I have a coating everywhere before I do anything, and make sure my tips are full. Yeah, I put too much on right from the get-go. But it happens, as you can tell. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this right away from that leak. And hope not much got underneath. And I'm just going to take a baby wipe and get rid of it. Whoops. Now, I know I'm asking for trouble by doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to try to clean some of that off. And then hope I didn't ruin the back completely. But I can take care of that, like I said, with a little bit of sanding. And so now I'm going to pop some bubbles. But this time I'm going to use my long neck lighter instead of my big one. If I can get it to light. And then I'm just going to go around and pop any bubbles that may be forming. This way I can be more direct than I can with the big lighter. So if you gotta watch your tape, you can set it on fire like I like to do. And then once I'm done this, then I'm going to go around my edge and make sure I have no bubbles on my edges. Oops, you want to stay out of the resin. And then I'm just going to take my end here and just go slightly around my edges. Make sure I'm popping some bubbles that may be on my edges. Oh, there's a runoff point that I didn't catch. Another one. And then you just let it cure. I could have done this with the UV resin, but you can do it either way. See, I'm running over again. So I'm going to move that again. And then I'm going to turn on my heat mat and I'm going to let this warm up and cure. So as soon as it's cured, I'll be back and we shall remove the tape and take a look at it. Our lotus flower is done. So I have some precautions that I would like to tell you about. I do not suggest that you use that black resin with the this. I suggest you do not use this with UV resin. I'm trying to get it out of the light so you can see the label. So I do not suggest using this with UV resin because it did not cure. Even with that top coat, it came right through the top and it did not cure. So I took off the tape, and even all over, as you can see on my hands, it's been a challenge. So I'm going to have to touch it up and see if I can get it to cure longer underneath the light, and then do another top coat to finish it off. But I have problems everywhere there was tape. It just did not come out right at all. And I really don't know how to fix it without sanding it all down. But then again, I have wet resin underneath this. What did cure a little bit on the top here, I got wet resin underneath this because it did not cure. So lesson learned. I do not suggest this for UV resin. It did not cure. I have areas over here that didn't cure, over here that didn't cure, here that didn't cure. I believe this area here didn't cure. I don't want to keep putting my fingers in it because I'm leaving fingerprints everywhere. But I will try this again in another video down the road and show you a different technique without the black. So I'm going to conclude this video. So that is lesson learned. So I hope you all have a great day. I thank you for joining me. You all have a blessed day. Please do check out my eBay store that's listed in the description. I hope all of your crafts are coming out amazing. And I'll see you in the next one.